What do you got for us today?
Not much. Chester's playing. Let's go.
Same lineup?
I'll know after warm-up. One game kind of decision.
If you go with the lines the way that you had them at the end of the previous game, do you see that as, in the past you guys have talked about defining roles and that kind of thing. Do you see that setup as having pretty clearly defined roles for each line?
No, I just did a little change the other game, and I thought it went well for the rest of that game. So I wanted to try it again for this game, and we'll see where it goes. But just like I said, I like what I saw the last 25 minutes of the last game, and we'll go from there.
I guess it's just
even though we didn't score, we had numerous chances and we had a lot of good opportunities.
I guess I was just thinking, like, having VC and Gaudreau together, that looks like a line you could put out there for some D-zone draws, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, I didn't do it for those reasons, but it definitely, like I think somebody asked me the question yesterday, is that a line that can go out in there and shut down the top line? Well, it's possibly, if you look at it like that. But I don't change my line for one game or one team. I'll put our lines together, and when things are going good, you want to keep them. But we'll try it, see where it goes, and if I don't like it after, a few shifts or a few periods or a few games, then we can always make an easy switch back.
You always say ideally you'd like to keep the same lines. We're about a quarter of the way into the season. Feels like you're still searching for the right combinations right now?
Not really. Not really. I mean, I'm happy with the way they played. Again, I just wanted to give Brett a little shot in the arm up there with those guys, and he doesn't like to play right wing, but he said he's fine with it, so we'll see how it goes.
What do you feel like are the keys to shutting down Connor McDavid?
Well, it's never easy. I mean, he's a top player in the league, obviously, him and Draisaitl, and they get a lot of their points and goals, but we just got to make sure we're playing a good hockey game. Be aware when they're on the ice, but again, we got to play our game. We're a pretty good hockey team, and when we play our game, I like our chances. But obviously, they're great players. You got to respect them. But they got a good team over there. You can't work with two guys. You got to play your game to the fullest and be aware when they got the puck and they got their speed going.
Sometimes when you come up a road trip, you can use it as a barometer of where your team is at, especially at this point of the season, right around Thanksgiving. Where's your team at? What do you think?
Well, we're in the playoffs, right? We were there yesterday for Thanksgiving Day. They had us in the 7th or 8th spot, I think. So I'm okay with their team. I think we're better than what we are with the record. But like I said, I think we had a tough schedule. We had 5 back-to-back games in 21 games. That's not easy. A lot of travel. So I'm okay with it. I know we're better than what our record is, but we'll move on from there and try and be better.
I ask is, like, a year ago through the first half of the season, the story was, well, Shesterkin's been great.
Yeah.
And he has been good, but it doesn't seem like he's been the story this season. So what areas do you look at and say, well, we need to, this second quarter of the season here, we got to pick that up?
I think everybody can bring it up a notch. Shesterkin's been great at it, but what's his record? He's got every win first, 10 or whatever it is. I think he's been outstanding. He's played great. I think everybody else can bring it up one notch. Per guy.
Yeah.
The whole thing. I mean, again, I think we've been okay a lot of games. We've played well. I think our record could be better, should be better than what it is, but we can be a better team.
Gerard, in your experience, and you've had other clubs that have gone on deep runs, does it sometimes take a while to get up and running at the beginning of the next season, realizing that you've got a long way to go to get to where you just were?
Yeah, and I think that's the same boat for a lot of teams. I mean, really, when I look at our teams last year, we had 2 different teams. The first 60 games of the trade deadline, we were a pretty good team. After that, we were a real good team. I mean, we added some pieces to our team, and every team's the same way. Edmonton, all the teams, they add something at the deadline, makes their team a little bit better. You fill a little bit more depth holes, and we added 4 guys that were really important to our group last year. And our kids take a step this year, and they're better players, so you count on that to happen and that. But we're in the same position as a lot of good teams. Tampa Bay, I mean, they add some players. Everybody adds players at the deadline, and they make them a real good team. And I think that's what happened last year. And this year, I don't think we took a step back. I think our teams at this time last year probably a little bit better than the team we had last year at the same time. But I don't know if that's the same numbers are there point-wise, but I like our team, and you know, we're gonna get better and we're playing better, and I think our kids are taking another step. They're good young players.